welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you something that I've been doing now for the last couple of years and that I have saved a lot of money on, because we're all about money sometimes on this channel because Jess doesn't have any. Initially, I thought it would be something that was really expensive, something that would be really hard to do or inconvenient, which, to be honest, some of it is. It's a lot easier to just walk into a store and buy something that is not eco-friendly because they're easier to find, obviously. But in saying that, I didn't throw everything I had away and then repurchase everything to make it eco-friendly. I kind of waited till everything ran up. I waited till everything was finished, and then I replaced it with something that was better for the environment. So this has been like a couple of years in the making. I will have to say that I have saved a lot of money and I have contributed to waste a lot less by using these products. The reason that I started doing this to begin with was because of my hormones, which again is what we're all about on this channel. So additionally, I did a lot of research on all the hormone disruptors in our products. A lot of our sprays, a lot of our toiletries, our laundry detergents, etc. have things in them that are endocrine disruptors, dominantly estrogen disruptors, meaning that it can make your estrogen out of balance in your system, which is pretty potent if you think about it. I mean, like, these are products that you're using every single day, being absorbed into your air, into your skin, and they're having an effect on your endocrine system, which is wild to me. Again, there are little swaps here and there you can make, and it's just about being a more conscious shopper. And on top of that, you'll realize it's cheaper to do things like DIY / eco-friendly than it is to like buy things. And so, yes, I'm rambling on as I always do, but yeah, I'm going to kind of break it down by area of the house and how I've taken some things and made them waste-free. I am not completely waste-free. I am not saying that I'm a waste-free household at all, but I'm trying to get there. Okay, the first area that I'm going to start off is in the kitchen / lunch area. So the first thing that I did not repurchase was plastic bags. Once my box was finished, I slowly started replacing them with these little cloth baggies. A lot of these cute little baggies that if I need to put something in a Ziploc, if I need to bring a snack somewhere instead of using a plastic baggie, I have a lot of cloth baggies. The next is these cool like Swedish towels. This is a brand new one I haven't used even though it's stained. But the really cool thing with these, and they sell them at most stores like a Bed Bath & Beyond or your grocery store or wherever, these are also compostable. So instead of going through sponge after sponge after sponge, these last longer, and then when you're finished, you can just put them in the compost and they decompose, which is really cool. Speaking of cloths, I have upcycled. Instead of using paper towels, I no longer use paper towels. I just find that you can get like a little paper towel happy, like one spill and it's like for me anyway, I'm like, oh, water spill, let's take 5 paper towels. And you're just like, well, these are paper towels. Like before, people just used towels and then they wash them. So that's what I've done. So if there's any like old sketchy towels that I was about to throw out, I keep those now in my kitchen drawer as paper towels. Also upcycled like old t-shirts, as you can see, like old cloth and material. That is also a cool. Next, in terms of kitchen, I buy these coffee socks. So I have a drip coffee machine, and before I was buying the little paper filters that have to go into them. And mind you, like those are quite cheap. They're about like $5 or $6 for like 50 of them. So they last quite a long time. But again, like just unnecessary waste when you could probably even make your own, to be honest. But I guess this is like special kind of cloth. But yeah, they look like this. And they just sit in the basket of your drip coffee maker. Next, my friend Blair, who is amazing, she made me these reusable beeswax papers, which if you buy in the store are really expensive, but to make are so easy. So these are completely reusable. Again, use that like old pillowcase, make it into a rag, make it into handkerchiefs, and make it into saran wrap. So that is really cool. I love that as well. So no plastic there. Next, instead of buying plastic dinnerware in terms of like making things with, kitchen tools, that's it, kitchen tools. I started buying used or new like bamboo or wood. So these are like bamboo cutting boards, bamboo, what is this? You know, a frying thing, I don't know, but you know what you use it for. Next, here in Vancouver, we're really lucky. We have something called the soap dispensary, and there's a few others around where basically instead of you buying new detergents or new hand soap or new counter spray or whatever it is, you just bring in an old bottle and they refill it for you. So kind of like if you think of like bulk foods, but in terms of toiletries, which is really, really cool. And I'm so lucky because even in Toronto, where I was from before, or in England, that didn't exist. So it looks like this, like just like using jars. This is counter spray, and this company is really cool as well because all of their ingredients are natural. They're scented with essential oils. So again, nothing that's gonna mess with your endocrine system, nothing that's going to be toxic. The next thing is buying in bulk. So buying in bulk saves you a lot of money, especially with all these like little nitty gritty foods or teas, protein powders, any of that kind of stuff. If you have like a bulk store around you, highly recommend. What I do now is instead of going to a bulk store and using those little plastic baggies and like refilling them, I bring my own jars, and they just do the same thing. They weigh the jars for you, they keep it on file, and then you go and you shop, and then they just deduct the weight of the jars after. So it's like the same thing as if you were to use a bag. And I didn't know this, but you can do this with like everything in any grocery store. So like if you go and buy cheese and they put in a little container, like fresh cheese or whatever from the deli, you can bring your own container and they just weigh the container and put the cheese in your container instead of using those little plastic like Tupperware things. So I guess it's in terms of drink stuff. So I used to use plastic bottles. If I was bringing a smoothie with me, I would have a plastic like shaker, or if I had protein powder after the gym, I would use one of those plastic shakers. Or I very, very rarely buy plastic water. I don't think a lot of people do anyway, but I never buy like a one-time use water bottle except when I travel. So when I travel, if I'm out on the go, like this weekend I was traveling and I had to buy one of those big plastic ones because I forgot this. So, you know, that's life. I'm not gonna stress, but for the most part I am doing my part. So you can just buy, this one is from Clean Canteen. So I believe this top part is plastic, which I don't know why they do that really. And black plastic is really hard to recycle, but this is metal. And again, I find like if you're buying a reusable water bottle, try and buy like something like metal or glass, just because first of all, it lasts a lot longer. And it's just easier to recycle. Speaking of which, when I go for coffee, and not all the time, but if I keep them on me and I remember, which is I'd say like 70% of the time, I opt for these reusable keep cups, and they're so cute. Basically, they're just made from glass and recyclable materials, and the coffee, you go to your barista and you just say, can I have my coffee in this instead? And they're like, yep. I recently went back to England where I used to live, and Espresso Library is where I worked in Cambridge, and they are phenomenal. They are so ahead of the times in terms of like composting and stuff there. Like I remember when I worked there, they had like little plastic cups to drink out of that were compostable, and like they had the paper straws, and like they were just so ahead of everyone else in the area. So cheers to them. But they gifted me this keep cup as well with their own branding. So as well, I don't buy straws anymore. I have a lot of these plastic straws. In terms of vanity, I showed you before, like my shampoo and everything, I just fill it at a store. Then in terms of cloth pads, like makeup wipes or anything like that, I just have these cloth ones, which I bought, I forgot where I bought these, somewhere in Victoria, but they are, they're just made from bamboo, I think recycled bamboo, so it's just a cloth that's stitched. I mean, you can make these again out of anything, but I guess these are really nice because they're super soft on your skin. So if I'm removing any makeup, if I'm using a toner or whatever, I use my reusable ones. You guys know I'm obsessed with my Intima Lily Cup. Instead of buying pads or tampons, I use the reusable pads that are made from different fabrics that are absorbent and super easy to wash. And then I use my Lily Cup, which is a reusable tampon, I guess. It's like a little cup. I use this and I'm like, of everything here, you guys know, like, this is what I'm most obsessed with. This is like a godsend. This is just... And I was traveling this weekend and I used it and it was just no mess, no hassle, no nothing. In terms of household sprays, which again can be dangerous, and I don't really use hairspray, but I would recommend looking into the hairspray you buy too, because that could also be affecting your hormones. So a lot of sprays that we use at home in terms of like Lysol or anything to make the house smell nice or clean your counters or whatever are just full of endocrine disruptors, and not all of them. But I would just, again, it takes a simple Google search to use the brand that or search the brand that you're using, see if they are one of those brands or if they have an effect on you. A brand in Canada called Sage, and they're just really big on using essential oils for smells, for cleaning, for all of that kind of stuff. So I just use a diffuser in my house. So it's basically using drops like this. This one has like lavender, cedarwood, spearmint, eucalyptus, all that good stuff. And you basically just like put drops of this into a diffuser, which makes your house smell just amazing for like hours and hours. And it's just this in water in a diffuser. As before, I know like my mom and stuff used like those like Glad like plug-in things that make the house smell nice, but those are really expensive, first of all. Second of all, they just like give me a headache, like those kinds of smells, probably for a reason. So this is something so much cheaper, and like it's not only Sage that makes diffuser oils, like there's tons of companies that make them on the cheap that are just better for you, but make sure that they're the real oil, because if you're getting fake oils or fake scents, it defeats the whole purpose. And they also make things like bathroom refreshing spray that looks like this. So this is just made again with different oils like lavender, peppermint, spearmint, sage, and tea tree, which tea tree is antibacterial. The last thing that I do is when I go grocery shopping, I have this bag, which is like my favorite ever. I love it so much. I got this for 10 bucks, and there are these like eco bags. So basically the kind of material, it just like is like very durable and very stretchy. This could hold a lot. I call it my Mary Poppins bag because it doesn't look that big, but when I go shopping I can shove a lot in here, and the strap is also very durable and like stretchy, so that when you're shopping, just like weight wise, like I just don't know how it does it. Like it just fits a ridiculous amount of weight in there. And anyway, so instead of, if you're just like on the go after work having to pick up a few things or picking up a few errands, instead of using a plastic bag from the grocery store, you just have this one which you can just put your stuff in. So yeah, I mean, I hope this video helped you a little bit. I just feel like some people are very snooty when it comes to like eco-friendly behaviors, and I'm just like, this is so silly. Like, this is what your grandma and her grandma and her grandma did. Like, you didn't come up with anything new. Yeah, thank you for watching me ramble on about eco-friendly things, but please like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video, because it helps support me, and I will see you all in my next video. Toodaloo. How do I say toodaloo? Why am I so awkward when I leave? I don't know. Bye.